Hello engineers, and welcome to an exciting opportunity where I had a chance to talk with Gerd, our lead game designer, about colonization and its implementation within Space Engineers 2. This is quite an exciting look behind the scenes and how these features work, but do bear in mind they are still work in progress and there is a lot to come.
So hey everyone, my name is Gerd. I'm the lead game designer in Keen Software House. I've been working in the past 6 or so months on VS2 Survival. So I want to introduce some of the mechanics we've been working on, and here we go. So number 1 will be colonization. This is actually something that's fairly different from Space Engineers. In Space Engineers 2, you will be going through a progression throughout the whole solar system. So you've arrived in the Almagest, which is obviously, hopefully you know already, the name of our star system. And from there on out, you'll be one of the first explorers to actually go through the system and to colonize it. That means, or what does that mean in particular? There'll be a set of contracts, mostly engineering contracts, where you are asked to either repair or build new structures to really build an infrastructure for all the coming engineers into this solar system. So in a position, or apart from SE, this gives our players or in this case you, a very red kind of line of where to go, what to do. In VS2, we already have 5 systems that can be colonized, or 5 sectors that can be colonized. So you can expect some tasks that will send you into deep space or somewhere on our planets to get some resources, repair some kind of broken down bases, and or even create some from scratch. Of course, similar to SE, you can do freeform play as well. So create some kind of your own ships, your own bases, and all these kinds of things. So the Almagest is a vast solar system. There's a lot of stuff to do and to see, but there's also a lot of empty space. As of now in VS2, in the survival, you are focused, or our mechanics are focused on the core game loop, meaning drilling, welding, and grinding. However, our aim is to build upon this foundation and to really bring the solar system and the planets alive. One thing that we're obviously going to do is NPCs, but another thing, or another mechanic that is already present in the game right now, is the fast travel network. So one of our thoughts here is to actually bring people together. In SE, to cover vast distances, there's just a jump drive. We will obviously have it in SE2 as well, but it's going to be more of a late game block that you can unlock. In the early time, when you start playing, you will have this travel network that's connected throughout NPC stations. So you'll find core stations that each will govern a sector, and from sector to sector there are jump lanes. This will also help to guide people through the actual points of interest, like where we have story dense areas, where we have contracts, where we have these interesting things and bits to see. You are of course always invited to branch out to explore each sector, but for people who are more interested in the story and the progression parts, they can just focus on these core jump points, on these core connections, and play through the game in this way. So in Space Engineers, sometimes you run into the issue, you don't know where you are relative to the sector or relative to the star system. In SE2, we actually created a new tool to give you a specific overview and also very visual feedback of locally, or where you are located in the star system. We will have a map feature that you can use to see in which sector you currently are. You will be able to see where you can travel next. You will see where's the next jump lane to the next sector, and it will also show you the current progress. We also very visually want to show you basically your current state of the colonization, how far are you along, and how far do you still have to go until the sector is colonized, and then even until the whole star system is colonized, the Almagest. But this also adds some more opportunities for us to inform you where you can find certain resources. This is what leads me to one more topic. The resources are also a bit different from Space Engineers, where in Space Engineers you can find everything everywhere. In Space Engineers 2, in the Almagest system, we have a resource distribution, meaning some higher tiered resources like gold or other resources will only be found in certain sectors or in certain specific places. Where those are, the map can tell you. And additionally, the map will also use a fog of war, meaning you have to discover everything by yourself. Like there's some rough points that will give you guidance, some anchors, like for example, where the planets are. But imagine it in a way that there has been just some deep space probing. People roughly know how the Almagest looks like, but all of the details are still hidden behind this wall of fog that you can uncover. So one of the biggest challenges for us with SE2 and the colonization is to actually unite all the features of the core game loop to really carry the meta gameplay, which is colonizing sectors to colonize the Almagest. Meaning in SE itself, you have collecting resources, building something, and then basically that's the core game loop, right? Like all the other goals you put out yourself. So in this case now, we have contracts that give you goals. Then we have the colonization, we have the progression, and uniting all of these different aspects together so it gives a good feeling of progression throughout the game. It gives you some guidance, and it also gives you the feeling of satisfaction. So that's one of the biggest challenges we've had and faced. So the biggest achievement we've got with these new features is actually to give you a reason to engineer, an outlet for your creativity, something that you can achieve. In the end, it is a purpose to build something. So if I was to build my first base in Space Engineers 2 Survival, I'd probably choose one of the mountaintops of Verdure, because we've recently seen the development of our clouds and of our environment. So we've like landed on the planet through the cloud layer on a mountain, and that just looked so epic. It's just having a base there and having that view every time I log into the game, just be amazing. So what will be most interesting for me in VS2 is to see how far people can push their creations with our current mechanics. I know we don't have automation yet, even though it's planned. We don't have mechanical blocks yet, even though we'll put them in a future vertical slice. But we have a lot of blocks and we have the survival mechanics. So how large will people build? How intricate will people make their builds? And how visually stunning will be their creations? So that's like, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of screenshots, videos, and to be in awe of what people will create.